It's 25th of September and I've started to rebuild my raised boxes. And the wood that I've managed to get wasn't as wide as the other wood that was there originally. The wood that was there originally was scaffold poles, and they lasted 6 years, which was a bit disappointing really. So some of the way that I've repaired them, I've just put this decking that I've got around the outside, because it's actually much easier to do that, and eventually that wood probably next year will be rotten enough to just pull out. And the other way I have done it is to just build new ones, this was one of the first ones I did, and it was really hard to do because the earth just got middled up with the stones. Even though you're sort of trying not to do it, it was really hard work, and I don't want to do hard work in the garden. So having a look on YouTube at homegrown veggies, seaweed and leaves, it looks like he was sort of overwintering his compost on a raised bed. He was just putting leaves and seaweed in it, I think, and then turning it every now and again. And I thought that was a really good idea, because obviously if you've got a compost, you've got to put the stuff in the compost, and then you've got to get it out the compost, and then if you are going to use it as a sort of a soil conditioner, you've got to then put it on your soil. But if you've obviously got it in the place that you want the conditioner on already, then that's got to be a good idea. And I've seen other people who've done this or similar to this, and they just plant straight in. Normally that's just with leaves. So the things that have gone in here, and it's probably taken me about 6 weeks to fill up this, is kitchen waste, which is wrapped in newspaper. There's also some chicken straw, which is the straw that's on the top, with obviously chicken poo in from the hens. Just cleaning them out every day. That's just like half a bucket really, as we only have a few hens. And then I've just most of it is kitchen waste and vegetable waste, so apples and cabbage and any soft material. I haven't put any twigs or rooted things or any seeded weeds or anything like that. It's just been all of that. And so as I've been doing it, I've been covering it with this tarpaulin, which I've just secured with nails pointing downwards, which is quite easy to get off. And the tarpaulin has sort of stopped it from blowing away in the wind. I filled that raised bed with the straw and compost from the kitchen and chicken waste and vegetable waste, and it was quite high, so I trod it down and I've just put those plants on top. And most of the plants that are on there won't be very tasty for slugs, so we'll see how that goes and see what happens in the spring. It's the 3rd of November, and this is just a quick update on the vegetable plot. Since then I have almost finished repairing the raised beds and made them higher. I've transferred some compost in that bed and also that bed from compost heaps further down the garden, so that's all fresh compost in there, ready to go for next year. And in fact, underneath this one here, I have put 3 inches of leaves just collected from a friend's garden. And this is the raised bed that I just put fresh manure on and fresh compost on, and then covered it with some hay and just used it as a base for my plants that are in pots. So it looks like it's going down a little bit. A few fungi coming out there, which is quite interesting. but it doesn't look too bad, so it looks as though it's slowly washing down. New Year's Eve, and it's an update on that bed that I put some compost in. The level looks like it has gone down quite a bit. But the level has gone down, and obviously I've taken some plants out of it. I'm going to have a look at what the soil's like underneath, because I was just about to plant it. So, yeah. Obviously this is the cage that was still in there from last time. I can take that off, I guess. And it looks like there's actually earth, and the plants have rooted into the soil. Gosh, this one's really rooted into the soil. Not all the plants in the pots lived, so I'll just take that off. And it looks like the worms have done a good job. I'm going to put some raw beans in here now. We'll see what happens, but let's just dig in and see what's under there. Oh, lots of lovely worms. Sorry, little worm, you weren't very happy at being disturbed, were you? But it looks pretty good. No real sign. There's a few bits of the hay still, maybe, but I think that will probably be okay to plant into. So it smells lovely. So we'll give that a go and see what happens. I'm not sure if I've got the date, but it's about the middle of May, about the 15th of May. I am going to put some slug pellets down, a few just around these beans because the ones in the winter got eaten, and then I'm going to cover it with wood chip. It's now August, and I suppose this is the end of the cycle for this raised bed, which I started last year. I've had some really good broad beans in it, and I just pulled those up actually and put some wood chip down, ready for the next things next year. The level is still averagely high. The chard that's been in it has gone mad, so much so I haven't been able to even eat it all. I've been giving a lot of it to the chickens. And so I think that experiment worked. It's something that I would definitely do again if these levels do get low on the raised beds. Certainly putting 6 to 8 inches of just compost on, and then covering it with something like wood chip or grass or something, and just letting the insects and all the microorganisms in the soil, the worms, break it down naturally over the winter. And I think when the compost is left on top of the soil, as opposed to being in a compost bin, it does break down much quicker, because obviously it's in contact with the natural things that would break it down anyway. And obviously then the next year the plants benefit from it, and certainly the chard is probably larger than I've ever grown before, so I think it was a success.